In a class test, the marks were awarded out of 80. Kamal obtained 65% marks. How many marks did he get? So what is the question? We know that a test was conducted and the total marks of the test was 80. And Kamal obtained this percentage. So we know Kamal's percentage. Now what does the percentage tell us? That if the marks were out of 100, Kamal got 65. But in this test, it is not out of 100, it is out of 80. So we need to know how many marks Kamal got. So we need to first do 65% of 80. So this is a question similar to find the value of. We know the percentage and we know out of how much the test was. Okay. So had it been out of 100, we know that he would have got 65. But the test is not out of 100. So if the test was out of 80, what were the marks that Kamal scored? What will you do? You do 65% of 80. Now all this actually I don't need to explain because these type of questions they have already solved. So very quickly I'll do it. Both are divisible by 10. 2 divides 5 times. 0 divides 4 times. Now 5 divides 1. 5 divides 13 times. Now 13 4s are. 4 3s are 12. Carry 1. 4 1s are 4 and 1. 5. It means Kamal has scored 52 out of 80. Okay. Now if you want to check your answer, what will you do? You will write 52 upon 80. These are the marks that he scored. He scored 52 out of 80. And to change it into percentage, what have you to do? Multiply it by 100%. You need to get your 65% back. So if this 52 is correct, your answer to this should be 5%. So let us check it out. 2 divides 4 times, 2 divides 5 times. Now 4 can be divisible by this also. 4 1s are 4, 4 3s are. 13 5s are 65. So you got your 65% back. It means Kamal has scored 52 marks. Now this very question can be done in another way also using the cross multiplication method. Now what are the two things? There is the marks and the total number of marks of the test. So 65% means he would have scored 65 if the test was out of 100. But now the test is out of 80. So what are his marks? Cross multiply. The numbers that face each other are to be multiplied. 65 multiplied by 80 upon 100. Okay. Now if you look, you have got a similar thing over here. 65 multiplied by 80 upon 100. I got the same equation. Okay, so when you reduce it, you will get 52. So here also you will get 52. So by cross multiplication, you can get your answer. There is another way in which you can get, remember proportions that you did. So this is again something similar to proportion also. Now in proportion, which are the two things for you? Marks and the total marks, isn't it? So this will become the two ratios. So what will it be? 65 is to 100 is as question mark is to 80. Now these both and these both are to be multiplied. So 65 multiplied by 80 equals 100 multiplied by this question mark. So again you will get 65 multiplied by 80 divided by 100. So there are different ways in which we can arrive at our answer. But for now, this is a percentage question, so you need to do it here. You can get this same question even in proportion topic. Okay. Question 2. In an examination, Renu obtained 480 marks out of 750. It means the total exam was out of 750 and she secured or scored 480. What percentage of marks did she get? So here we have to find out the percentage. We know to find out the percentage, we have to multiply by 100. So first of all, we need to write this as a proper number, as a fraction. And then, so in this question, Renu is getting 480 marks and the total exam was out of 750. And we need to find out what is the percentage that she scored in this exam. Many a times, children come to teachers and they ask them to find out the percentage. So now you know how to find out the percentage. What are we to do? You will add up all the marks that you have scored in the different subjects. Okay. And then upon what will you write? The total of the maximum marks of that subject. Say for example, every exam was out of 50 marks. And if there were 6 papers that you answered, then 6 multiplied by 50 is 300. So the maximum marks will be 300. And say for example, your total marks of all the 6 subjects is say for example 200. Okay, then what will it be? 200 upon 300. Okay, and then to convert into percentage, you know that you have to multiply by 100%. Now to get her percentage, we have to do the same thing. We reduce as much as possible. Okay. Now both of these are divisible by 25. 25 divides this 3 times and this 4 times. Now 48 is divisible by 3 also. Remember the test of divisibility test of 3, that you have to add the digits. 4 plus 8 is 12 and 12 is divisible by 3. Therefore 48 is also divisible by 3. 3 divides 4 once. 1 will be left. Then it becomes 18. 3 divides 18 6 times. 3 divides 48 16 times. Now there is no denominator left. So 16 fours are you have to do. How much is that? 6 fours are 24. Carry 2. 4 ones are 4. 5, 6. So her percentage is 64%. In her annual examination, Geeta scored 39 marks out of 60 in English and 51 out of 75 in Hindi. In which subject her performance was better? Now here they have given you a hint, but you know that in an exam you won't get any hints. Okay. So they have given you a hint that you can do this by finding out the percentage, because we are dealing with percentage topic over here. When I had started percentages, this was one of the examples that I had given you, the need for percentages. Now what happens is, different, if the marks are out of different marks, like the total number of marks of a test is different, then it is very difficult for you to compare. Now if you look at just the numerators, you may think that she has done well in Hindi. But the Hindi exam also was 75 more. Okay, therefore we cannot simply tell whether she has done better in English or Hindi just looking at these. There is one more method, fractions. These are unlike fractions. You can change them into a like fraction by finding out the LCM of the denominators. And once they become like fractions, then you can compare easily and see which one is greater than the other, and then you will know whether the person has got better marks in English or Hindi. So had it been a fractions topic, then you would do it in that way. But now we are doing it in percentages. So we find out the percentage of marks of English, then we find out the percentage of marks of Hindi, and then we compare the two percentages and say in which she has done better. So we know that to convert anything into a percentage, we have to multiply by 100%. Both of these marks, we simply multiply by 100%. What will it become on reducing? Both are divisible by 10. Then 2 divides this 3 times and 2 divides this 5 times. Then 3 divides this also. 3 ones are and 3 13s are. 13 fives are 65%. Now you find out for Hindi similarly. Both of these are divisible by 25. 25 threes are and 25 fours are. Now 5 plus 1 is 6. So again 3 can divide this. 3 ones are 3 ones are 3. 2 will be left, 21. So 3 17s are 51. 17 fours are 4 sevens are 28, carry 2, 4 ones are 4, 5, 6. So in Hindi, in fact, she has scored better. So that is just a coincidence that this was big and even the percentage is big, but that is not always the case. Therefore, you need to find out the percentages and then you know both of these now we can compare because this is also out of 100 and this is also out of 100. So they are out of the same number of marks and therefore we are able to compare. So finally what is it? Upon 100 means again they are like fractions. Therefore we are able to compare it. So had it not been a percentage question, we could simply convert both of these into like fractions by finding out the LCM of the denominators and arrive at our answer. Number 4. In an examination, 640 students appeared. Means these are the total number of students who appeared for an examination. Of them, means out of 640 students, 544 passed and the rest failed. So we know how many children out of 640 passed. Okay, and the remaining have failed. What percentage of the students failed? So we know that we have to find out the percentage. And what percentage do we want to find out? The percentage of students failed. So first of all, we list all the information that is provided in the question. We know that there are total 640 students who appeared for an examination. Out of them, 544 passed. And what are we to do? We are to find out the failed percentage. Now we know to find out the percentage, what do? We multiply by 100%. So what to multiply by 100% now? If you were to find out the pass percentage, you would write the pass number of children upon the total and then multiply it by 100%. But the past percentage is not asked. We are asked the failed percentage. So we, instead of writing the past over here, we need to write the failed. So for the failed percentage, we write the number of students failed upon the total multiplied by 100%. Okay. So now in this, you don't have to learn anything by heart. First thing, you have to find out the percentage. So you have to multiply by 100. Second thing, you want the failed percentage. Whatever percentage you want to find out, that number needs to be the numerator. Remember this. Remember this nicely. That if you want to find out the pass percentage, you write the pass as the numerator. If you want to find out the failed percentage, you write the number of students failed as the numerator. The denominator is always the total. When we did the earlier question also, you must have observed that they secured so many marks. Okay, she scored whatever number of marks, say 51 out of 75. So what was 51? The marks that she scored. And what is 75? The total out of which the test was. Okay, so the total is always written as the denominator. So you don't have to learn anything by heart in this. And otherwise also it is common sense that these many failed out of these many. Okay. Yes. So and to find out the past percentage, we would simply write 544 because we know the number of past upon the total. Total is 640 and multiply by 100% and do the reducing and get the past percentage. But here we are not asked this one. We are asked the failed percentage. So first of all, we need to know the number of students who failed this examination. Now with the information which is already given, we can always find out. Okay. So if the total is this much, if so many have passed, obviously you have to minus. How many have passed? The remaining have failed, you know that. So first of all, from 640, you minus 544. 0 minus 4 is not possible. So you borrow 10 minus 4 becomes 6. Now this is 3. 3 you have to borrow from here 1. So it becomes 13. 13 minus this is 9. So it becomes 96. This you had borrowed there. So it is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. So what has it become? 96. And what is 96? 96 is the number of students who failed. Okay. Now, some children, they stop it at this only. Number of students failed. No, the question is not that. The question is to find the failed percentage, not the number of students failed. So you need to find out the percentage of the students failed. So failed percentage will be failed upon total multiplied by 100. So how many failed? 96. Out of how many? Out of 640 multiplied by 100%. Now you do the reducing. Okay, this needs to come above this. Okay, now both of these are divisible by 2. 2 32s are and 2 5s are. Now 32 3s are this side. Let me check. 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. 1s are at 3s are. 3 5s are 15. The percentage of students who failed the exam is 15%. Now, if you know the percentage of students who failed, you can very easily find out the percentage of students who passed. What is the meaning of 15%? 15 out of 100 means if there were 100 students, 15 out of them failed. Of course, there were not 100, it was 640 students. Okay. So if there were 100, 15 of them failed. So we have found out the percentage. Now, if there are 100, 15 have failed, how many have passed? 85. So 85% will be the students who have, that is the percentage of passed. So 544 who have passed, you will get 85%. If the passed percentage was asked, what would you do? 544 upon 640 multiplied by 100%. Now when you do all this reducing, you will get 85%. Question 5. In an examination, so many students appeared, means so many students gave an exam. Of them, 85% passed. So the passed percentage is given. How many students failed? Okay. Now with the help of this percentage of passed, we will find out how many children have passed the examination. So you will do 85% of 1360. Then you will get the number of students who passed. But we still will not get our answer because the question asked is how many students failed. Now we know the total number of students. We know how many students have passed. So very easy to find out the number of students failed. Just subtract. So first of all, the information given in the question, total 1360 students and the passed percentage is given 85%. And what are we to find out? The number of students who failed. Now, if we know the passed percentage, with the help of this passed percentage, very easily we can find out the failed percentage. Now, total number of students will be 100%. 100% means all of them. Now, out of the 100%, we know that 85% have passed. So, obviously, the remaining have failed. So, this is the failed percentage. So, I got my failed percentage, which is 15%. Now, with the help of the failed percentage, I simply can find out the number of students who failed. What will I do? I will do 15% of 1360. So, when I will solve this 15% of 1360, I'll get 204. So, I will get the number of students who failed. Okay. So, what did I do first? First, I subtracted the past percentage from the total percentage and I got my failed percentage. And with the help of that percentage, I found out the number of students who failed. Number of students who failed. So, always with the percentage, you can find out the number. Now, in this, what have I done? In the second method. If we know the pass percentage, very easily we can find out the number of students who passed. Like what we have done over here. With the help of this failed percentage, we found out the number of students failed. So similarly, with the passed percentage, you can find out the number of students who passed. So what will you do? 85% of 1360. So when you do 85%